probation and parole system is not functioning. We've got some counties that are not using probation, and there's stuff in our jails full of folks that in another county they wouldn't have that level of offense. And so part of what this does in our mind is it makes our parole and probation system function. We've got, I think you might recall the studies, that the data that has shown that our parole system, probation system, is where our recidivism lies. Matter of fact, the testimony that they supplied in some of the hearings was that you're almost better not having what we've got because it's not effective. And this is proven, the processes that they got here, the swift sanctioning. If somebody's a technical violator, the worst thing you can do is let them pile up violations, not send them to incarceration and not send them to programming. And what this does is to basically have community corrections use proper programming, get them to Department of Corrections, not sitting in our jail, not out in society with piling up violations, but to actually get them to program and get them in and out. That's where we
do want that.
Yes.
But I have a question for you. Did you support, as an association, Act 570?
I'll say this, I'm probably like Mr. McMahon.
I'd be smiling too, because you might want to.
I know we read the bill the day it came out. It's a 169-page bill, and I don't think we were as involved as prosecutors in that involvement. But we were like the rest of the folks at that point. We were in a spot where I don't recall.
You're in a spot. Maybe you had some pressure to support the bill or not say anything.
Well, we certainly tried to understand it. It was probably beyond our understanding at the time.
Well, then y'all should have attended those meetings with me. It was one bad bill. So if I might defend with the prosecutor before you go on.
You can, we've got a couple.
Yes. I know that, Bob, you guys supported Act 570 the last time. And you guys know how bad a bill that was. So on this bill here, you telling me that you're neutral now. I guess what I'm saying is, it really hurt, you know, when we talk about credibility to protect people, it's very concerning because we just want to make sure that the associations, when they stand together and they support a bill, it's not because they've been pressured to or held their budget over their head or that someone says it's a great bill, so just do it because I said so. We have people to protect. We're going to let possibly more people out. And you can see that we're setting, our concern is making sure people are safe. So with the association, that's my concerns when I was visiting with you about this as an association, is we need to be real careful what we support, because we don't want someone to hurt and it come back on people. That goal is to keep people safe. And sometimes there's a cost to that. That means maybe a few more beds or not.
Senator, I share your concerns with public safety, and I can assure you that the prosecuting attorneys are very concerned about this bill as much as they were with Act 570. And which is the reason we spent a tremendous amount of time working on this, trying to help come up with a solution to the problem. And I certainly hope that this is a much better solution in the long run than Act 570 ended up being. But I would agree with what I believe Senator Hutchinson said earlier. A lot of the problems with 570, I think, were attributed to the fact that there wasn't enough money, put into some of those programs and ideas that were there. So I would hope that this particular piece of legislation solves the problems that 570 did not. But I can assure you that the prosecutors are very concerned about this. That's why we spent so much time on this and are so concerned about the probation program, because the prosecutors are the individuals that the community are going to come to when they see individuals back out on the streets. So that's why we took this seriously and spent a great deal of time on this.
Senator Stubblefield.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is county judges. I've had a couple of my sheriffs in my Senate district tell me that they've had more problems, higher incidents of violence with mental inmates that have mental issues inside of the jail than they have from those with violent criminal offenses. Is that true?
I would believe in discussions I've heard from sheriffs that would be a correct statement.
Do you know what percentage of prisoners in our county jails fall into the category of having either mental handicap issues, drug-related issues, versus the violent offenders?
I got it from a sheriff, 30%.
30% that fall into the mentally
have some kind of a mental issue or deficiency that creates, it may be a dependency issue, but 30% in total that have a incapacitating mental capacities.
Right. Well, from what they've told me, that group of people have caused more injuries, not only to but to deputies within the jail itself.
Senator, there was a car chase that was publicized just yesterday of a 20-something-year-old that had a 10-year-old child. They were traveling high speeds through Cleveland and I believe into Stone County. They were finally stopped. It's a wonder there wasn't gunshots fired. That person has a mental deficiency, that female taking her child on that type of case. We have these in society already, particularly in the ones that are being paroled and are being handled through probation and parole. They're already on the streets. Would it not be better to have them identified and try to get them help since they're on the streets anyway?
Right. And